6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The History with Jackson podcast. Hello and welcome back to History with Jackson. Now, this isn't an interview or a full episode. This is a small little update from me. Now, firstly, you might have noticed some things here at History with Jackson. That this podcast has moved from being a monthly history interview podcast into being a weekly history interview podcast. Now, this is because I wanted to bring you guys more content. I wanted to bring academic content and research to you in a more accessible way, but more regularly. So this will be a weekly history interview podcast with episodes coming out every Sunday morning, 7 a.m. British time. I've got some exciting guests sorted out for the rest of the year. We've got some amazing guests coming on, people coming back on, and we're going to be discussing some fantastic and unique history that I think a discussion is really needed, but also I think they're things that you're going to find interesting, you're going to want to listen to and want to learn about, and they may help you in a pub quiz, they may be something that you can bring out in a university or a school essay, or just be some knowledge that you can carry around with you because you find history interesting. Either way, I think the rest of this year that I've got planned out for you guys is absolutely amazing, and I think you're going to really enjoy the content that we've got coming to you. My second point is that I think it's quite clear that I want to turn History of Jackson into a part-time or a full-time job for myself because I enjoy doing this. I really enjoy creating content. I enjoy sitting down with historians and other content creators to create history content that you guys enjoy and learn from, and that makes some of this history accessible. Because as I've said many times in many different podcasts, sometimes I've opened academic journals, academic books, and I've thought, what the hell does that say? And I want to make those things that people look at and say, what the hell does that say? I want to make them accessible and bring them to a wider audience. Part of the drive to making this a part-time or a full-time job is that I'm looking at ways to monetize the podcast. Now, I want to be very open and transparent with you guys. So one way that this is going to be done is I have, and you may have already heard about it, I've started History of Jackson Plus on Apple Podcasts. History of Jackson Plus is a supporter model on Apple Podcasts where you can subscribe to that as just a way for you to support me if you'd like. History of Jackson Plus hasn't got any additional or hidden content behind it. It is £2.99 a month. So if that's something that you'd be interested in supporting me with, that would be something that I'd be greatly appreciative of. Another thing that I'm redoing is I've restarted up my Buy Me a Coffee profile. On there, you can do a one-time supporter payment. You can subscribe to support me for £5 a month if you would like. But this is something that is purely voluntary, but it does go a long way in helping support me to create the content that I do, particularly as moving this to a weekly model, which is an awful lot of time for me to put into a project that I firmly believe in. But there is still the merchandise, the clothes, the quarter zips and so on the website, and there is going to be a couple more products going on there as well. My books also are on Amazon and the website as well. So if you want to buy a copy of The Crystallization of Totalitarianism and the book on the Dictators series that I wrote, go and check those out if there's something that you're interested in, because they're part and parcel of what I want to do here at History with Jackson. Another point on this is that I am also open for advertisement. Now, I am never going to put anything behind a paywall, no content behind a paywall, hence why advertising will help. So if anyone is interested, any businesses are interested in advertising on History of Jackson, that is completely open. So if you email jackson@historyofjackson.co.uk, there can certainly be discussions about that. This year I will also be writing my book with pen and sword, Hitler versus Stalin. So I'm going to be creating a lot of history content that's either audio or written. So, there's going to be no shortage of content from me here at History of Jackson. Now, I know this has been a bit of a serious message, but I want to be open and transparent with you guys. I'm trying to try and put processes in place to turn this from a small hobby that I do on my laptop to hopefully being a job, a form of employment for myself, so that I can carry on doing what I love and what I really enjoy doing. I'm also going to be trying to rebuild the website to make that look more exciting and trying to be a better place for you guys to go. I'm also going to be looking to go to more historical events this year, so I'm already lined up to go to Gloucester History Festival and see what I can do there as a content creator. So, this is an exciting time for History of Jackson. I want you guys to be informed. I want you guys to be involved in that as well. So if you have any suggestions of what you want to see on History of Jackson, if you have any suggestions of, anything really, do email me or drop me a message on social media. Social medias are in the description below. My email address I've already said during this podcast. But, this is a work in progress. It's something that will improve as we go along. But I want you guys involved in these processes. I want to see what we can do with this, because I firmly believe in History of Jackson and where it can go. You guys have been such a great and supportive audience. Over nearly 12,000 plays now on a podcast, and massive growth over the past year. And I know that we can get more content and you guys can enjoy different things in that time. So thank you very much for listening to this short message if you got to this point. If not, that's fine, but thank you very much from me. So I'll talk to you in our episode on Sunday.